Hi everyone, it's Lisa. I've been sick for like over a week and I'm still not feeling well, but I need to film. I need to tell you what I read this month. I'm so proud of myself because last month I only read 3 books and that kind of bothered me, even though they were big books. I'll go ahead and link that down below, my January wrap up with the 3 books that I did read. But this month, and it's not even over yet, I've managed to read 7 books and I'm really excited about that. All the books that I read were really great and I can't wait to share them with you. So here we go. I'm going to be rating my books from what I like the least to what I like the most. The first book I'm going to show you is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'm really excited to have read this book because I did read Crooked Kingdom and Six of Crows and I enjoyed those. And so I wanted to learn a little more about the Grisha trilogy, and so I went ahead and got this one and read it. And I did like it. I did enjoy it. I don't have the next book in this series, but I am thinking of reading it. Maybe getting it from the library, though, and not owning it. I gave this book 3 stars. But like I said, I did enjoy it, and it was the start of a really good story of how the Grisha came to be and the training that goes into that and the gifts that these people have. It was very interesting, and I like the characters enough to continue on, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. With Shadow and Bone on to the next book. Maybe next month I'll get to read that. This was really good though. The next book I don't have with me because it was a library book, and I read The Zookeeper's Wife by Diane Ackerman. And I really enjoyed this book as well. It is based on a true story, which is always a bonus for me. I love historical fiction. It's one of my favorite genres to read. And so this is also being made into a movie that will be released the end of March. And I saw the preview for it, and I definitely wanted to read the book before the movie came out, and I'm glad I did. It was really very good. It was about a couple who were the keepers of the Warsaw Zoo in Poland. And as the war was going on, World War II, the zoo got bombed and the animals were taken away so that they could go somewhere else and not be harmed. And the owners of this zoo, the keepers of this zoo, were hiding Jews from the Nazis, and they would hide them in the animal cages, and they would call the different groups by different animal names kind of thing. It was really very interesting and really well written. I encourage you to read it before the movie comes out. It was really good. The next book I'm going to share was actually a random choice. I had finished The Zookeeper's Wife and really wanted to read something different, but I didn't know what to read. I wanted something not on my TBR. So I made my husband go on to the bookshelf behind me and choose a book, which I know that was probably not a good idea because I needed to follow through with it, but I did. He chose The Girls from Corona Del Mar by Rufi Thorpe, and this was really good. I enjoyed this book so much. It is the story about 2 friends, 2 girls that were best friends and grew up together. Well, first let me say that this was, there's a picture of her in the back. This is her debut novel, and oh my gosh, I'm so impressed by that. The fact that this was her debut novel was phenomenal. I mean, the story was really good. It really touched my heart because it talked about friendships, the friends that you have growing up, and do you really know them well enough? Do you know them as well as you think you know them? You grow apart and people change. And so this book is about motherhood and about friendships and about what we owe our children. It also talked about who we are with or without our friends. And I just found the story fascinating. It's not long, but it was powerful, and it was really a wonderful read and had me thinking quite a bit about things. So if you like books that make you think and books about friendships, then I definitely would recommend this one to you. I gave this one 4 stars. The next book I am going to tell you about, I don't have either because it was another library book, and it was The Circle by Dave Edgars. And this is also coming out to be a movie, I think, in April. And it is going to star Tom Hanks and Emma Watson. So when I saw the preview for this, I said, okay, another movie. I really want to read the book first. And it was super. What did I give? I gave this book 4 stars as well, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good, so different from my previous story. another whole different story about this girl named May, and she's going to work for this huge internet company. And it's talking about just how this company almost is wanting to take over everything, like taking over every part of you on the internet and putting it in one place. So you have one username, one password, and from this base, that takes care of everything else. And so it's basically this girl trying to figure out, is this the right thing to have this system take over pretty much the whole world, and what that would do to society. And it was so interesting and so thought-provoking, and actually, if I'm honest, very scary to think that this could happen in the future, that this probably will happen in the future, that technology is moving so fast that it's going to take over, and how you feel about that and your privacy on all of these things. So very interesting story. Highly, highly recommend reading it before the movie comes out. I'm curious to see now what they're going to do with the movie, because I'm very intrigued with this. Very, very intrigued. So should be really good. Excited about this one as well. Next book is one that I've already done a review on that I'll link below for you to check out. It's Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and I loved this book. This book is about two sisters and how they every year wanted to go to this once in a year event that took place, almost like a traveling circus kind of thing. And so I'm not going to say much more about it because I've already reviewed it, but it was spectacular and I loved it, and I'm recommending everyone to read it. It had everything that I look for in a book. It had twists, it had turns, it had things I wasn't expecting, and just the whole fantasy versus reality thing is so intriguing to me. So definitely a keeper. Definitely recommending this. I gave this one 5 stars. My next book is a graphic novel, and I got my hand on The Wires and Nerves by Marissa Meyer. It is her first graphic novel, and it's talking about the Lunar Chronicles, which I loved. So you have Cinder, Scarlet, all of the characters from the previous Lunar Chronicles books in her graphic novel. And we're basically talking now, this is the story of Eiko. Is it Eiko or Eiko? I can never remember. So the story is about Eiko, who is a robot, but the robot is in a girl's body, so she doesn't look like a robot. And so we're telling the story of her after the Lunar Chronicles. So the only really issue I had with it, other than it being spectacular and I rated it 5 stars, was that with the Lunar Chronicles, I always picture people in my head of what they look like. And then when the author or some sort of artist draws them out and gives them character and a body and hair and eyes, kind of freaked me out a little bit, because I had already had pictures in my head of what they look like. So I had to kind of switch around a little bit and say, okay, well, maybe that's what he looks like. And it bothered me for a little bit, but then I accepted it pretty quickly and moved on. It was really good. I can't wait for the next one. She's just spectacular, and you have to read it. Definitely have to read it. So book number 7, I have not finished yet, but I am reading currently in Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. And I am sure I'll read this one in the next few days for the rest of the month. This is amazing. I can't believe I haven't read it yet. I think it's one of the last books that I needed to read ASAP because I felt like I was so far behind on things. So I'm reading this now. I'm loving it. I'm sure I'll probably finish it either today or tomorrow. It was really, really good story. And so those are my 7 books that I read this month, and I'm just really happy because last month I only did 3. This month I more than doubled it, and really excited about that. I have a few tags that have been tagged in, so I apologize. I haven't gotten to those yet, but I will. I've just not been feeling good. Even now I have like this tickle in my throat and I want to cough my lungs up again, but I'm fine. I just need a few more days to like regroup and feel better. I am going to be participating in the Read-A-Rama next month and already have my TBR set for that. So my first readathon of the year. Really excited about that. In my goals for this coming year, said that I would participate in 4, so this will be my first readathon, and I have my TBR pretty much set for March because of these books. I wanted to fit all of those in. And then, of course, the couple of other tags that I will eventually get to maybe sometime this week. But really great reading month for me. So if you've read any of these books and you'd like to comment below, I'd love to hear from you. I love making new friends here on BookTube. It's been just so much fun for me to see everyone talk about their books. So as always, thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.